Var birisi lan. Alo. Neredesin? Birisi gerçekten dolar ne yapsın bak. Bana geldiler.
Two. Yeah. Everybody wants to talk to you. 2:45 in the morning. We're at the airport. A 45-minute bus ride to get here. And there's Burcu. Yeah. These guys won't leave me alone. All week, nobody said anything to me, and then these guys want to start. They're at the airport. You think they see foreigners every day. So, 45-minute ride to get here. What a beautiful day. This is the first day it's not windy since I've been here. And this is a massive airport. Only one terminal here, I think. And it's very nice and modern. I think I said that last week when I got here. So I got a long day ahead of me, beginning now. It's the only airport I've seen where you go through security immediately when you come in. That's the gate right there. And the first thing you do is go through the X-ray and security. And I'm flying on Turkish Airlines right here. It seems that it's not open yet to check in. My flight is still 4 hours away. Whoops. 650. Yeah, that's me. Yeah.
We should go in
EF. All right. Check-in is open. I'm through security, through passport control. Said goodbye to Burcu, and here I go, off to my gate. We hung around for about an hour and a half, trying to get the most time together. And here I am. Wow, what an airport this is. Everything about this airport is so much better than Mexico City Airport, which maybe I'll expand upon at some point. I think I might do a live chat maybe next week after I'm home. Look at this big board here. I don't have any gate info. 650 Paris. Gate info at 5:20. But still another 25 minutes away. That kind of sucks. It's not that I'm in a hurry, but you know, you kind of want to sit down somewhere and eat and relax and everything. But all right, well, I'll wait until 5:20 and see my gate. I take it back. I found something that I don't like about this airport. To connect to Wi-Fi, you have to get a password here. And you have to scan your passport. You have to wait in line at these kiosks, and it's only good for an hour. I got, I think, close to 2 hours to wait now, and I guess I have to do this again in an hour if I want more Wi-Fi. You shouldn't have to do this at an airport. When you come to an airport, departing or arriving, you should be able to connect to Wi-Fi. It's quite important. It's not just for messing about. All right, I'll wait in line for this Wi-Fi. I got a gate. Raju told me this airport is new. It only opened, she said, about 5 years ago. I don't know how accurate her estimate is, but whoops. But it is quite new. Why are they standing? Yes. I like this guy. I'm gonna follow him, I think. Another reason to love this airport. Look at this. And you don't have to pay. It's free. Isn't that lovely? Hello?
Your seat number, sir? 87.
35B.
B, yes.
Thank you. I have a major announcement to make. There's going to be no video of the takeoff or landing because I'm not in a window seat. Very rare that happens to me. This is maybe only the third time in my life maybe that I've not had a window seat. Configuration here is 2. I think Dallas likes this kind of stuff. It's 2, 4, 2. I'm in 35D. Correction. There will be video of the takeoff and landing because I'm in a window seat. This flight is largely, it's not empty, but there are a number of empty seats. The row that I was in was 4 seats. I was the only one. They said boarding is finished. So not only did I get a window seat, I got a window seat with an empty one beside me. And everybody is happy. breakfast. I didn't know if they were serving breakfast on this flight or not. This is only about three and a half hours, I think, so I don't know if they were serving food or not. I'm not sure what this is. Oh, this is cheese, cucumber, looks like tomato. Oh, lovely, and an olive. I'm gonna guess, since this is Turkish airline, I guess that's yogurt with, I don't know what that is, apricot maybe? A little bottle of water. Some bread, warm, soft bread, unlike that hard as a rock, cold bread on Lufthansa on the way here. Sour cherry jam, butter, and the main attraction is, I'll guess, eggs. Oh, what is this?
Turkish pastry.
Thank you. What is it?
Turkish pastry.
Oh, okay, thank you. Turkish pastry. So there we go. That's, thank you. That's, he said Turkish pastry. It looks like quiche. Looks like cheese and some kind of quiche. And I got orange juice and water there. Yes. This is over Switzerland. We just passed across Italy and just crossed the border into Switzerland. So far we went across Bulgaria, Serbia, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Croatia, Italy, and now this is very, very snowy Switzerland. Are these the Alps? Are these the Swiss Alps? I'll say yes. I don't know.
for landing.
So I'm in Paris. My first time on French soil, except for French Canada, which I will be in about, I don't know how many more, I think about 8 or No, more than that. 11 or 12 hours. No, more than that. I think the flight is 8 or 9 hours to Montreal. And I have to wait about 4 hours to get it. So, yeah, it's going to be a while, but I will be in Montreal. And now, 4.5 hours in Paris. I'm on the little bus going to, I arrived at Terminal 1, I'm going to Terminal 2. Strange that it's a bus, no? Not like a monorail train? Or maybe monorail trains are less common. This is 2B and 2D, I need 2C. This is quite a trip I'm taking. Beginning to question this bus driver's route. I don't know if he's using Google Maps or what. About to go from CDG, Charles de Gaulle, across England, Ireland, Newfoundland, and landing in Montreal in 7 hours and 35 minutes this is going to take. And the setup of the configuration of this plane is 343, and I just missed one seat in front of me, the good leg room, and one seat beside me, also the good leg room, and I'm stuck here. No window. I don't think I'm going to get a window. It seems like it's very full today. First meal has been served, and it's I had a choice of chicken or pasta. I chose chicken. It's chicken teriyaki with water. And is this some kind of a marble chocolate cookie or what's that? Oh, it's like a marble bread or something. Not sure what that is. A little bun, some cheese, and butter, I guess that is. And I like they announced that they said there was going to be. We took off, I think, around an hour and a half ago. There's going to be a mid-flight snack, and then shortly before we're landing, I think they said another snack. I like knowing that so I can manage my hunger. Back in my homeland for the first time in almost 5 years. And my home city for the first time in 22 years. I haven't been in Montreal since, no, 23 years. 2001 was the last time I was in Montreal. I guess you know you're in Canada when you come to the book section at the store and you see this. And even more of this. This really makes it feel like home. This is all the good Canadian maple syrup. Another maple syrup product. Like cookies. Oh, chocolate fudge. Maple tea. Ice wine tea. And the chocolate bars of my youth. And my adulthood and my whole life, I guess. The worst chocolate bar ever, other than Big Turk. And Dallas likes both of them. Coffee Crisp is one of my favorites. These are all my favorites here. Crunchy, Arrow, especially Mint Arrow. Wunderbar, Mr. Big. Love Smarties too. I always like them better than M&M's. Je me souviens. And one of my favorite snacks ever, and almost certainly my favorite potato chips ever, these are the Lay's Ketchup, very famous in Canada. They've been around since I was a kid. Maybe they were around before I was even born. No, I think I remember a time when these didn't exist, when there was just salt and vinegar chips and barbecue chips, maybe sour cream and onion. These were in maybe late 70s. They're missing the dill pickle chips here. Those are another famous one in Canada, but they don't have them here at the airport. I've looked around. But man, Lay's ketchup chips, just the best. And I ate my ketchup chips very quickly and got a little bit bored. So I came back to the store. How could I have not shown the Montreal Canadiens swag? Les habitants. The first sports team, I guess, that I followed, the Montreal Canadiens and the Expos. When I lived here when I was a kid, my dad used to take me to both games, Canadiens games and Expos games. Patrick Roy. Jean Beliveau, number 4 he was, a little bit before my time, but an obvious legend. My whole trip just almost changed completely. I have a big story to tell, which I'll get to at some point. Now we're on the tarmac still in Montreal. This flight has been delayed after all this time waiting. The plane was delayed. And we're on this bus on the tarmac waiting to get to our plane. A lot of stuff going on. I don't know what's going on, but we got on this bus about 20 minutes ago at the gate. Started driving to the plane on the tarmac. We've been sitting here now for about 20 minutes, just sitting on the tarmac. I'm starting to get a little bit tired of this. I've been traveling now for about 24 hours, I think. The time I left Bourdieu's house yesterday, yeah, it was about 25 hours, and I still have a 5.5 or 6 hour flight ahead of me. Getting very tired of just sitting here waiting. We just got off the bus. We're boarding at the ass end of the plane. Finally in Mexico after a 2-hour delay. And it's freezing cold. This airport is always cold. And it's cold outside too, and raining. First time I've seen rain in a long time. Immigration and baggage claim. Nobody at immigration. That's good. I'm finally back home, and I'm in familiar territory. Not just Cuernavaca, but for some of you, this is familiar territory. I got tired of taking videos. There was some other stuff I could have shown or could have explained, but I'll try to keep this quick. A couple of things. One, the thing that I explained earlier, I guess in the video, was a couple of minutes before I left the airport in Montreal. This could have been awesome. They, about half an hour before boarding started, maybe a little before that, they made an announcement at the gate. They said, we're looking for 10 they said they were overbooked. We're looking for 10 volunteers who can take another plane, and you'll be compensated if you take another plane instead of Montreal to Mexico City because it was overbooked. And the announcement was in Spanish, and sometimes you can't always hear them in the airport. And I was trying to decipher, and I'm sure they said I heard something about 2,400 compensation. I thought, oh, 2,400 pesos, that's okay. Let me see what I can do. So I went up to the counter to ask, and I said, you're looking for volunteers? They said, yeah. I said, what are the details? They said, okay, you would, instead of leaving, I was supposed to leave Montreal to go to Mexico at 7:20 p.m., whatever day that was, Tuesday, I guess. And they said instead of going from Montreal to Mexico, at the same time, they're both 7:20. 7:20 Montreal to Mexico? No. You'd go 7:20 Montreal to Toronto, which is just like an hour flight. They're only 400 kilometers apart. And so you would fly to Toronto. The flight back would be the next morning at 8 o'clock in Toronto. So I'd be back in Mexico, 2-hour time difference. I'd be back in Mexico at 11, 10 in the morning. That's only like a difference of, I know, about 12 hours it was going to be. I thought, okay, that's no bad. And I said, what about the, I said, and they said, oh, there's also, we'll give you a meal voucher, taxi voucher between the airport. And I said, is it going to be at a hotel airport? They said a hotel airport or very close to the hotel. They said, we'll give you a voucher for taxis between the hotel and the airport, meal vouchers. And I said, what about the compensation, 2,400? They said, yeah, 2,400. I said, okay, and how does that work? Yeah, like I said, is it like a credit? Does it have an expiry date? And she said, no. She said it's 2,900, not 2,400, if you want credit for a future flight, but 2,400 cash. And then I realized, I said, pesos or dollars? Dollars! She said 2,400 Canadian dollars. And I had to control myself from saying, yes, I'll do anything you want for $2,400. I thought, this is going to pay for my entire trip. My entire trip didn't cost $2,400 Canadian. The plane ticket plus, I think all the money I spent, I didn't spend that much. I thought, holy shit, this is incredible if they're going to give me $2,400. And it'll only cost me another 12 hours and another plane ride. I'd already been on, it was going to be 3 planes, 1 more plane, whatever. And then even better than that, I called my brother. My brother lives in Toronto. And I told him, I said, my brother lives east of the airport. My mother lives west of the airport. And I said, hey, would you want to drive? I said, I'm going to be in Toronto at maybe around 8:30, 9 o'clock. Would you want to drive out there and, we can go have dinner or something? Because I haven't seen my brother or anybody in my family for 5 years. And he said, yeah. And even better, he said he would stay with me at the hotel because he was going to drive early the next morning, to go, my brother's the teacher, so he's off for the summer, school is finished. He was driving to my mother's house west of Toronto to take her to go do some stuff. So he said instead of driving the airport and then him driving back to his house, he could go to the airport, visit me for a couple of hours, stay in the hotel, and then that would also save him a lot of driving to go get my mother. So I said, this is perfect. So I said, give me a couple minutes and let me figure things out. And then I thought, what about my luggage, my bag, because I had already checked it in. And so I went up to the woman again at the check-in counter, and I said, what happens with my bag? She said, don't worry about it. She said, it will be taken off the plane, and it will go to Toronto. She said, don't worry about it. She said, basically, it's like you're flying standby. When I volunteered, and I was the second person to volunteer. I think they had 7 total. They said they take the bags off the plane. I don't know, something like that. I thought, cool. So I was thinking, oh man, this is awesome. I'm going to get to see my brother. I'm going to, get a probably, I don't know how much the food voucher would have been, but it probably would have been pretty good. I could have been in a nice meal in a good restaurant. Could have been back in my hometown, just for a brief visit, and got enough cashish to pay for everything. And then, so she said, just stay around here and we'll call you, once everybody is boarded, we'll call you and give the information. So they'd started to board people, and, boarding was on that bus. If you remember, I showed that bus. So they got everybody on that bus, and then they called everybody. They said, okay, can everybody who volunteered, they did this. Can everybody who volunteered come over here? So this is when it all went astray, or awry. I think they say awry or awry. I know it's awry. It went awry. She said, she explained that they could only do this with people who had carry-on luggage, not with people like me and other people. I think there were only a few that had just carry-on. I can't remember why. I think they said because they wouldn't have been able to get the bags onto the plane into Toronto in time. And I didn't really argue or question it. Like, I thought after, I should have asked her, like, could you have taken it on the flight to Mexico from Montreal? I could pick it up later, or they could deliver it to my house, or something like that. I realized after I should have said that, but I've been waiting a long time at that point. So, man, I just missed. And pretty much in my mind now, I feel like I lost that $2,400 because in that 1 hour, I guess it was less than an hour from the time she told me it would be at $2,400, and she said you get compensation if it's more than a 9-hour delay, and this was like a 12-hour delay. And yeah, it was going to be a 13-hour delay. And she asked me, she said if it's more than a 9-hour delay, I don't know how they come up with $2,400, and so that's $24,000. If they had got 10 people, they were looking for 10 volunteers, they would have had to pay out $24,000. I don't know how the airline industry works. I have so many questions about the airline industry. So in the time that she told me, and I was thinking, I'm going to get $2,400 and my trip is basically free and paid for, to the time that I found I wasn't going, I felt like I lost that money. Do you know what I mean? I had it all in my head. Anyway, so that was that. That really sucked. I would have liked that. And then that flight ended up being delayed by 2 hours. I showed that a little bit in the video. It sucked. So I got back 2 hours later than expected. And then when I got to Mexico, I don't think I showed any of this on the video. One good thing when I got to Mexico, well, bad thing and a good thing, I got through immigration in about 25 seconds. I got off the plane, I got ahead of everybody, and when I got to immigration, there were zero, not one person there. There were a couple of agents open, but they were just sitting here waiting for passengers, so I was the first one. I gave her my passport and my resident card, my green card. She stamped it. That's it. I think she looked at me, she said, Daniel? I said, yeah. Stamped it, that's it. Really, that's it. No questions on it. It was beautiful. I love that because I've waited a long, long time to do that before and I had to answer their bullshit questions and fill out forms and stuff. So I didn't fill out a form on any of these legs. To Germany, to Istanbul, to Paris, to Montreal, and back to Mexico. I never touched pen to paper. I hate filling out forms. Not even electronic forms. But then I thought, now the problem is going to be because I was so fast, I'm going to have to wait longer for my bag to get on the carousel. So I got to the carousel and it wasn't even operating. It was just motionless. The door was closed. I waited like 25 minutes even for the first bag to come out. So I thought, this is Mexico. This is how it goes. It always starts right away with the waiting. And so finally the door opens and the conveyor belt starts going. And in classic Mexican fashion, the first thing that comes out was about 8 feet long, 2.5, 3 meters long. It started to come out and it got stuck. Because, the opening for the bags is only about 1.5 meters. So it got stuck. And it was just rolling like this. So I had to stop it. They closed the door again. They pulled it out of the way. They opened the door again. They tried to put it through manually. They couldn't get it through. So that took it ended up being 35 minutes that we waited. And then once the bag started going, I did get mine fairly quickly. And this is where you're, it's such a kick in the face. Every time, I've talked about this many times with everybody that I know, people that I've traveled with, all my friends. I feel like every country in the world, I've only been to like 7 or 8 countries, but I feel like some I've been to multiple times. I feel like every country in the world is better than Mexico when it comes to just everything, just organization, people being helpful, thoughtful, kind, nice, friendly, just things happening the way they're supposed to happen. It's just such a sudden and obvious change. And so I got to the bus terminal because I have to take a bus from the airport to Cuernavaca where I live. I got there at 1:38, and the first bus of the morning, the last bus was at 11:30, which I might have been able to get if my flight hadn't been delayed. But anyway, so I got there. So between 11:30 and 2, there's no buses to Cuernavaca. And I know this is way longer than even I wanted. And then I mentioned that I've traveled 36 hours from the time I left Burju's house to the time I got to my house. It was like 36 hours and 15 minutes or 36 hours and 20 minutes, something like that. And I've been awake for longer than that. I've been awake now for 2.5 days. I can't even remember. And So I got to the bus terminal. It was 1:38, 1:34, something like that. And it said first departure is at 2 o'clock. And there were 4 people ahead of me, I think, waiting to buy tickets. But there was nobody there selling tickets. And so I waited and waited, and everybody's looking around. Where's the person? Finally, a woman came to sell tickets at 1:50, 10 minutes before. It started flashing boarding, now boarding, now boarding. I thought, how can it board if nobody has bought a ticket yet? And so the 3 guys in front of me bought their tickets. I went to buy mine, 2 o'clock. She said, 3:30 is the next one. I said, it says right here, 2 o'clock. And she said, it's full. And I don't know how the hell it was full, because as I said, there were 3 or 4 people in front of me. I don't know, but that put me in such a bad mood. I waited for I was already at the airport for 4 hours in Montreal. Then another 2 hours waiting on the delay. Then I got to Mexico, waited like 35, 40 minutes for my bag. Then I thought, okay, this is not bad. I wait 20 minutes for the bus, and I got on the bus. Now I learned that I had to wait another hour and a half. And in the meantime, when I started to see, okay, the bus leaves at 2 o'clock. This was at like 1:30. After I got my bag, I thought, I want to get something to eat. Because that was another thing. There was no meal on that last leg of the trip from Montreal to Mexico. No meal, just a small, tiny bag of pretzels. And they made me thirsty. So I thought, I'm really, really hungry. I want something to eat. I hadn't eaten at that point I've lost track of time. But I was very hungry. So I thought there were some food stands right almost beside where the bus thing was. And I was going to stop and eat there, but then I thought, no, I better go and get my ticket first and then eat, just in case it sold out or got full. So when I went and I saw that there was, nobody selling tickets, I thought, you know what, I'm not going to have a chance to eat if somebody comes late. So I went to, I thought, I'll just get a torta or something that I can eat on the bus. And so I went and I ordered the torta. I had torta al pastor con queso. So the woman, she made it, and she gave it to me, 130 pesos. I gave her my card. She doesn't accept cards. It's amazing. Again, welcome to Mexico. Fucking international airport, the busiest airport, I think, in Latin America. For sure the busiest in Mexico. I think the busiest in all of Latin America, maybe. And shouldn't every single vendor in there take credit cards? They have people flying from all over the world. People don't have local currency or maybe don't have any currency. And they didn't accept credit cards. So that sucked for me because I couldn't eat. And then she got mad at me because she said, well, I already cooked your food. You asked me for this food. I made it. I want to give it to you. I said, well, you don't take cards. What do you want? So again, started with the bad attitude. So anyway, yeah, so I got on the bus and anyway, I'm finally back here. It's maybe just getting light outside. It's raining. It's very, very cloudy, foggy. Weather has completely changed. For the last 4 months, it's been 33 to 36, 37 degrees every day. Today, when I got here, it was 19. And the high today, I think, is only supposed to be 24, 25. My apartment, I have a thermometer on my refrigerator over there. It's been 30 every day. It hasn't moved for months. It's now 26. I even had all my windows closed. My windows are never, ever, ever closed except when I go away. And even with the windows closed for 11 or 12 days, however long I was gone, it went down by 4 degrees. Maybe I'm going to finally sleep. I haven't touched a blanket for about 4 months. Was there anything else? I think that's all. Yeah, so that's it. Finally for this section for me, and also finally for this video and for this trip, it's over. And I don't know what to do now because it's 6:20 in the morning. Normally I would be waking up around this time. And I'm tired. As I said, I've been awake for 50 hours, maybe 55, 60, I can't remember. I woke up Sunday morning at like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock or something, and now it's Tuesday morning. So whatever that is. And what else? So I don't know what to do now. I'm very, very tired. I could fall asleep instantly, but I also kind of feel energized. I took the dogs out for a walk as soon as I got home, and even in the rain I went out. And I don't know what to do, but I got to get back on my schedule. I guess this is where maybe jet lag might start to sink in. I'm not sure what I should do. Maybe I should take a short nap, and I don't know, but I got to get back on my schedule. So that's it. Whew! And I'm losing my voice too. Whew! Still can't do it. Whew! Let's just say that. So that's it. That's wrapping up from my Istanbul trip. I'll say one more thing. I think I'll do a live stream. I did this after I went to Vietnam. Let's say next Monday. I'll do it next Monday. Is that June 30th, July 1st, June 29th, somewhere around there. Whenever either the last Monday or the first Monday of July, whenever that is. Today, what is today? God, today is Tuesday the 25th. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. I think that's July 1st. That's when I'll do the live stream. That'll be Monday, a week, 6 days from now, live stream. I'll talk about Turkey if any of you have any questions, any of you faithful viewers. I read all the comments. Thank you. I didn't get to them yet because I was very busy. I didn't want to, spend my time doing too much of that stuff, but I will get to them. And then the live stream, I'll talk about some things that I noted, some things I would like to talk about. If anybody has any questions about Turkey or anything else, I'll get back to. I want to talk about this album at some point, I guess. Not I guess. I will for sure. I just don't know when. I have to go to work. So a lot of stuff going on. But really, thank you for anybody who watched, especially if you watched all of it. You are a truly, truly special. I don't know if I mean that in a good way or a bad way, but thank you for watching everything. I think Dallas did, and maybe I know about Kirk, and some of you made some comments. Mike Pratt was always a faithful viewer of anything I do, hopefully. Thank you, Mike, and to everybody. But for now, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to end this video. Thank you. See ya.